And also in last video we saw how can we parse and extract data from HTML content using Beautiful Soap, and this is a documentation for that. And as part of that exercise, basically we fetched values, 5 different values from this HTML page, and those values are job name, job URL, company name, company location, and date when that job got posted. Now in this video, we are going to insert these values into a database. So basically we are going to insert these values into PostgreSQL. So I have installed PostgreSQL already. Let me open that. So we need to create a database and after that a table so that we can insert this value in that table. We'll see that. Okay, so I will enter the password. Okay, and at left hand side, I need to create a database first. I'm not going to, so this is a default database. I'm not going to insert or create a table in this database. What I will do, I will create a new database called, let's say, jobs. Okay. If I click save, so you can have SQL as well, but if you click save, automatically that SQL will get executed. It should not take long. Perfect. So database got created and we are going to create a new table. So this is something like Oracle. Each database will have its own schema and I will create, this is a default schema basically public, and I will create a new table here, new table. Okay, and I will give the name as monster jobs, let's say, and column. So I will give first column as ID. We are going to treat this column as identity column the way we have auto increment or identity, and integer, and I will give this as not null and primary key. This is auto generated column. Next one is job name, let's say, and char varying character, let's say 100. After job name, I have job URL. Char varying, I will give this as, let's say, 8000. I don't know how long that URL would be. Company name, character varying. I will give company name also as, let's say, 100. Company location, char varying. Again, it will be 100 because it's a combination of city and state. Finally, the job post date, and I will give this as 50, let's say. There are two more additional column which we are going to add. That is created on, and this would be date, and the next would be updated on, and again this would be date. Perfect. And I will not execute this as yet, reason being, so if I click on save, it will get executed. I don't want to do that. Instead, I will grab this SQL, reason being this has to be auto increment. So I will tell you how we have to do that. So I will cancel it as of now. I have copied that SQL and I will open a connection. So I will select this database and I will click on this query tool and I will paste that content. Okay, now instead of integer not null, so let's Google how to add auto increment column, or let's say identity column, how to add identity column in PostgreSQL. And let's copy this guy. So int, perfect. Okay, so it will be always not null. So I can keep this not null as well. Okay, and another thing is, so let me remove these double quotes. I don't need these double quotes. And one more thing is, what are these last two date columns which we have added, created and updated on? We are not going to populate that from our Python code. Instead, will populate this value by default. So we'll see how to add default date in PostgreSQL. So if I click here, so what they're saying using current date. So I will use default current date. Perfect. Okay, I think we are good. Let me execute this. Okay, there is a syntax error. Perfect. I will open another window. Okay, and what I will do here, I will grab this table, select star from its empty table. There is nothing, no records are there. And I will write an insert statement. I will insert a dummy records, insert into table name column. So job name first column, job URL, COMPA, company name, company LOC, date of job post. Perfect. Values. And for time being, I will add test. Remember, we have to add 5 different values. Perfect. Let's execute this. Monster jobs. Okay. What it says, date of job post. So there is something, some issue with the column day. It's a day. Perfect. Okay. And I will write, so I was just testing this query and I don't want this data really. So I will add truncate table also. Truncate table, this guy. Perfect. Okay. Now we have this code ready. Okay. We have kept these values into a variable. We also have created database and corresponding table. Now only thing is we have to write a code to insert data from Python into PostgreSQL. So let's Google it. How to insert data into PostgreSQL using Python. And let's identify. So what they are saying is we need to have this library. Okay. And yes, and okay, how to connect to PostgreSQL using Python. Perfect. So this library is needed and this is the connection object they are saying. Okay. So connect method, this may be a constructor method. So what I will do first, let me copy this guy. And since we are dealing with the database or connection, I will create a separate file called DAO.py. Okay. And I will create a method called def get co connection and I will copy this content. Okay, now it's throwing an error. Reason being we have to import that. It's an external library, so we have to import that. Now thing is I have already installed this particular library. So what I can do, I mean if I do pip uninstall and y, so now it will throw an error. So if they have mentioned it here, I mean now the code will not run. Reason being this library is not there. Okay, it will not find this method connect method. What they have mentioned is if you go back to the documentation, in order to install it, we just have to install like this. It got installed. Okay. Now, so connection got created. So I just need to change this database to jobs and password I need to specify as PA password #123. Perfect. Now I will write another method called def insert data. Okay, and let's say insert SQL. I'll write formatted string, and what I will do, I will simply copy this guy. Okay, and there will be two variables, jobs and table name. These two variables will pass from this method under this inside this for loop. So what I will do, I will create uh, inside this for loop, I will create a empty array or empty list. Let's say jobs, or maybe jobs. It's single job, and I will add job dot append job name, job URL, company name, company LOC, and the last one is day of post. Perfect. And I need to import, I need to basically, I need to call this method. So before that, what I will do is, so I will get that connection object, con equal to get connection. Okay. Cursor equal to con dot cursor. Okay. And I'll use cursor dot execute. Then I need to commit it. So con dot commit. And finally, I will close both cursor and connection. Perfect. And one thing I missed is, since I'm calling this connection method here, this function, it should return that connection object. Perfect. I think we are good. So I just need to pass these values, jobs and table name. So what I will do, I will copy this entire guy, and it will give an error. Reason being, we have to import DAO, and I will use DAO dot. Perfect. And instead of job, I will keep it singular. I will add this variable also. So let's say table name equal to, or maybe let's add this table name here, and I will pass this table name from here. Perfect. So this table name will get passed. It will get passed. Now still the last thing is, instead of these hard-coded values, I need to specify the actual value 0, and this has to be in, it's a variable. So I will copy this entire guy. Perfect. So let's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we are good. So if I run my job now, let's see what happens. Okay, it's running. Okay, now let me go back and okay, so data got inserted. One more thing, we have to truncate data. So what happens is, so let's assume if we schedule this job to run on daily basis, we first have to truncate the records, and otherwise it will keep on adding duplicate entries. So what I will do, I will add another function called, no, inside DAO. So let's say def truncate table, and I will pass table name here, truncate SQL, CATE equal to F multi-line string, formatted string, and here I will use table name. What's wrong? Yeah, perfect. And I can use same thing. I can simply copy paste this. And what I will do, I will simply copy this guy here. So before insert, so basically I will call it here itself. Perfect. So let's check how many records we have right now. As of now, I will delete this. Count star. So 40 records. So if I run it again, it should truncate it and it should reload it. Let's check now. Yeah, it's 40 records. Perfect. So there is still one last thing which is pending. So if I go back to this documentation, what they have mentioned is they're asking to move this into this connection values into INI file. So we'll do that, but instead of taking their code, I have already done this in prior videos. So if I go to my Git, data warehouse and reporting, and over here, I have created that INI file, config.ini file. I'll copy this guy here and let me go back to my Python code, config.ini. I'll paste it here. And what we need to do is, let me copy these values. We don't need these double quotes and commas. Perfect. And I'll remove this. This is fine. All right. And the other code to read that config file. So I need to check dow.py. So I need to import that config parser. We'll do that. And I will grab this code. Perfect. And that should be over here. Okay, and let's first import that config parser. Perfect. And instead of db source, that's supposed to be db. Yes, it is db host. So instead of DNS, it will be host. I will use this DNS over here. DB, it will be database. And I will use this over here. User ID is user. And finally, the password. All right, I hope I haven't done any mistakes. So let's run it again. Perfect, it's still working. Let me take the count one more time. Perfect. And what I will do, instead of doing only for one page, let's do it for 10 pages. So basically, okay, 11, so it will extract 10 pages. And what I will do, I don't want this. And what I will do, let's add that print job completion statement over here. Job is finished. Yeah, I think this will work. It's running. It must be running. Let's take the count. No, somehow it still extracted only 40 records. Why would that happen? Page. So let's print base URL. I might have done something wrong here. Page 2, page 11. No, so this is I done something wrong here. It should not be like this. So what happened is jobs. So I did something wrong. So let's check what I did wrong here. Page 1, and it is appending everything which it should not do. Okay, so that's the problem. I have used same name. So what I will do, I will use jobs, let's say. Or let's say JTI title. Yeah, it's small mistake. Yeah, it's perfect. What I will do, I will uncomment this guy. I will comment this guy. Let's take the count. 37, 68, 80, 82, 100. Yeah, it will take some time because it is extracting 10 pages. So let's say 40 entries for one page. So let's say 400 at least. I should have entered, instead of 10, I should have entered 5. That's okay. It should get finished. Yeah, job is finished. So let's see. Perfect. All right. So thank you for watching this video and see you in the next video.